Welcome to the We Big Podcast, aka the We Believe in God cast. What God you ask? The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Where wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. And in all thy getting, get understanding. I am your host, Brother Ra'ai, and this is the We Big Podcast. And today we're going to do it a little different than what we've been doing it, man. I'm excited about this. I'm kind of surprised. Didn't really plan this out, but you know, man make plans. The Most High plans is what come. They say man make plans, but God carry them out. So we about to get into this, man. We're gonna have a good time. I got somebody that a lot of people who knew, what was going on behind the scenes. A lot of people wouldn't expect this to happen, but it's one thing to talk about the Bible. It's another thing to live it out. You know what I'm saying? We believe in, brotherly love. We believe in building. We believe in forgiveness. We believe in, uniting as a people, man, and building as a people. So, and we can't do that if we let everything divide us and come between us, man. So tonight we're gonna get into it to where we're gonna look at how to build despite differences, how to continue to strive with your brother and sister despite disagreements, despite different viewpoints, man. And then that's kind of gonna be the anchor of it. But we're gonna get into anything and everything, because this is about to be a real, authentic, unscripted conversation, man. But it's Most High willing is gonna really get into a lot of things, answer a lot of questions, address a lot of concerns and just different perspectives, man. So yeah, hey, come on in, man. So, let the people know what's going on, man. So yeah. If y'all can see who this is, man, this is it. This is it, right? You know what I'm saying? This is Brother Palau, aka Ak Palau, man. Say what's up to the people,
man.
What's
going on, man?
Yeah, man. What's happening, man?
Yeah. I see you. National Prayers Association,
yeah. A lot of people look at that thing and say National Prayers Association, man.
Exactly.
www.webig.shop. Go get you one. You know what I'm saying? You see one of the shirts on there for the sisters. It's a virtuous women collection right there, man. We pushing positives, man. We big. We believe in God. We represent the scriptures, and this is what we call bold faith, man. Represent your faith boldly, man. So yeah, man, Brother Palau, man. So for anybody who don't know who you is, or who you are, all right, let me say it properly. Man, go ahead, introduce yourself real quick.
I'm Brother Palau, out there for the viewers and everything. I live in East Africa. I'm a chairman over a non-profit organization out here in East Africa. We do a lot of things with that. I'm Brother Palau, man, an artist, a historian seeker, a believer, and just a revolutionary, in these times, man. I'm happy to be with my brother Ra'ai, in his studio and being able to, discuss important things, just discussing, important matters in these times, man. So,
yeah, man.
Here,
that's what's up, man. So yeah, so for anybody who don't know, because a lot of people might not know the history, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we go all the way back to 2017, 18?
Yeah, about 2016,
16, somewhere up in there, right? When I first met you, whatever. And then about 2018, 19, we started doing real in-depth Bible study. We talking 12. I mean, we did like a 12-hour.
Oh yeah, we used to get it in.
You remember we was like for 12 hours. We was going back and forth through scripture for like 12 hours.
And it really started just with us, just getting up together, and just exchanging, knowledge of what we,
understood and what we
based
studied
off
and
the
read.
organization we was with before.
So
So
and from there, man, we decided that we would get into these real in-depth conversations.
Yeah.
Right, and a lot of knowledge would be shared, a lot of building would happen, and so we was like, you know what, man, like this is the kind of stuff that people need to hear. People need to see this build, hear this build. Whether or not you agree with the information, but just to be a part of that kind of building, like you know what I'm saying, between brothers. You know what I'm saying. So we decided to create a platform to share this. That build between us, right? And we came up with a name, and we agreed that we're gonna call it God Family Nation, GFN. So if anybody who familiar with GFN, that's kind of how it started, right? It was me, you, and it was several other brothers, and we did GFN, man. We did that for some years, like what, about
Yeah, we was doing that for about about 3 years.
3 years,
Shout
right?
out to Corey and Nayan and brother
Just
Yasai.
yeah,
You know,
everybody, man. Can't forget Tyler Lock. I
Tazalot.
don't
Yeah,
want
shout
you
out
to
to
feel no
shout out.
kind of
Yeah,
way. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Ain't
shout out to
anybody forget.
Tazalot.
Yeah,
Shout
you know
out.
what I'm saying.
What up?
So and brother Mike, man.
Yeah.
If you see this, man, come on back, man. I'm dead serious, bro. I'm dead serious, bro. I know we had our things, bro, but come back, man. Come
Most
back, man.
definitely.
So,
Most definitely.
but yeah, so we rocked out for a minute, man. We did some good work, man. And then at some point, we kind of diverged in our understanding. Yeah. We you know what I'm saying. We started seeing things differently, and that that was about really. I mean, look back, bro. That was like 2 years. We did that
we
for
was,
2 years. We went
yeah.
back and forward,
Yeah.
and when I say back and forward, y'all gotta understand, like we was at each other's throat. We was at each other's throat, like we was in different locations, but we was like every day, knock down, drag out, back and forward, up. You know what I'm saying, like. And I mean, it was to the point where we was crossing some lines.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? And
Get intense, man.
yeah,
Get
yeah.
intense,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? And so and we don't necessarily believe exactly the same way. However, we're brothers.
Yeah.
We you know what I'm saying? We understand that we're united in the search for truth.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And despite the fact that we don't agree on all these different doctrinal issues and everything, one thing I've always told you and I've always admired was your zeal, your determination to strive for truth. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's one area you match me in. You know what I'm saying? Because that's something like I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand on this. I'm gonna teach this. I'm gonna preach this. I'm gonna practice this. I'm gonna live. If I had to do it by myself, if you gotta be willing to wait on God forever. You know what I'm saying? I believe that and I live that, and I'm gonna do that no matter what. Like you know what I'm saying? If I gotta, like the scripture, if I gotta preach to the wind, and let the Holy Spirit carry it, I'll do that.
Yeah.
God know.
No,
So,
sure.
and I see the same thing in you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Even though we went two totally kind of, I ain't gonna say totally different directions, but we went in different directions, and we was not on the same page. We was not rocking out at all. You know what I'm saying? But you never stopped searching for truth. You never stopped standing on your rock. You never stopped standing on what you understood to be true.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this in all the disagreement that we had and all the back and forth we had, there was still always this mutual respect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the reason why, one of the things I want people to see in this conversation is how two people who start off on the same page and end up going in different directions, but we still have a respect, a love, you know what I'm saying, and a concern for each other.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And because it's bigger than me and you.
Yeah.
Despite our differences, despite our disagreements, it's bigger than me and you. And we, as a people, we have to learn how to still be able to build despite having different understanding, different, you know what I'm saying, perspectives and all that. Because every other nation of people, when you look at China, they got Christians, they got Muslims, they got Buddhists, they got atheists, all that. But when they go to another, wherever they all come together as a people and they build their community. And within their community, they have their own disputes. But they build their community. You know what I'm saying? And every other nation of people do that. But when it comes to us, for some reason we don't stand on our community. What they say? Okay, I don't know what that is. So
I'm with you though. I definitely feel what you're saying. I mean, the time in that life, was a pivotal point, for me, it really, allowed me to be able to study and be able to share the information with my brothers, regardless if, disagreed or not. But it was able for us to to build on a direction where we all, wanted to go, which is, just truth. And that's one thing that, regardless of, the growth that we both, made, direction we went into, it still allowed us to be able to build with each other and express, our opinions, express,
Our different
our
views. Yeah.
knowledge, and then, our standpoints, and be able to be like, you know what, I hear what you're saying. I may not agree with what you're saying, but I hear what you're saying. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And, and it's important for us to do that just as men of understanding. You know what I'm saying? It's important for us to be able to go into information and share that with each other, and be able to be like, you know what, I get what you're saying. I may not agree with that, but I understand your variables on where you get into. But I may not agree with that, how you get into your equation. But and it's just like the same thing with scientists and stuff. All scientists don't agree with each other.
Right, right.
All historians don't agree with each other. You know what I'm saying? All teachers don't agree with each other. You know what I'm saying? But what we should be able to do as brothers and sisters, and just as colleagues, because what we doing, this is a line of work.
Right, right,
So
right.
us being colleagues, we not gonna always agree. You know what I'm saying, with each other. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean we should stop being colleagues. We should
Right,
stop.
right. We can't still build
Yeah.
together and still come together as a people. We can't. We
Exactly.
gotta stop letting stuff divide us, man. And I know it's people. It's people that right now might be looking, man, because and I can't express to people how serious it was between us, man.
Yeah,
And I wasn't rocking with this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, we was clashing. We was clashing for real. I'm talking about 2 years, man. And it went through different stages. Because first, from my perspective, I'm like, man, my man falling off. He going way left. And so at first I'm fighting for you. I'm trying to pull you back. You know what I'm saying? And then it got to the point where it was like, now, because we're airing out our differences and our different agreement amongst the audience of people. So now it's like, you know what? Now it's like I'm fighting for the souls of everybody that's hearing the stuff you saying. Because I'm like, man, this dude off. He tripping. And I can't let him say this stuff and these people hear this and they go down this road he going down. You know what I'm saying? So now it kind of changed. And then, and then in the midst of that, we started, it started going at each other, it started getting personal, and so I got partners and friends who might watch this that kind of, what I'm saying, was on the outside watching me go through this, and I'm talking to them about, man, he tripping on this, he tripping on that, and they might be saying this like, man, you sitting down with dude after everything, but despite all that, man, we have to learn how to be brothers, and not, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I think that term brothers get thrown around loosely, loosely. Like I got a blood brother who I was born and raised, not born, but I was raised with. You know what I'm saying? And me and my brother, we not the closest. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't kick it like talking about, but that's my brother, and he know that if he ever call me at any point, I'ma ride for him.
Yeah, for
He
sure.
know that. You know what I'm saying? We two different people. We live different lives, different lanes. But he know I'ma ride for him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right on.
And so if you my brother,
Yeah.
despite our differences, despite what we agree on, disagree on, despite how much we deal with each other,
Yeah.
if you my brother, you still no matter what, you my
No
brother.
matter
Like,
what.
you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think we shouldn't throw that term around loose. If you call a person your brother, then there's even you know what I'm saying, what make family is that no matter what, we family. If I
Yeah.
like it, don't like it, we get along, don't get
Exactly.
along. If you steal from me, you steal my family, and we still together.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get over it. I'm gonna have to get past it somehow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we
Yeah.
family. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Nah, I
And
get
and that's what make family family. You know what I'm saying? So, we was brothers. And we are brothers, and we had our thing, man. But we was still, at the end of it, we was able to have a conversation, and that conversation was heated. That was about a 2-hour conversation. I remember because I'm walking around the track. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the track walking. We going round and round and round. It's like, well, man, look, and we came to an understanding, and and I was able to express to you where I was. You expressing me where you was, and it was still. We didn't we agreed to disagree. We agreed to be on different ends of the spectrum, but it was like it was still a respect and it was still love.
Yeah.
And it was still an understanding, and that's what we have to be able to do as a people, man. Despite because we divided on every front.
Yeah, nah, for
Religion,
sure.
politics,
Yeah.
how you raise your children. Like we
Yeah.
like can't nobody tell nobody nothing, can't nobody build nobody.
Yeah.
And it's like we gotta see past that. We gotta be able to understand it's about us as a people and not
Yeah.
us about us as individuals.
No, for
And
sure.
you had that bigger picture, you
And
can
what you
move like
saying,
that.
what you saying is right on because, you know, I got brothers. You know, I got 3 older brothers, and they not on when I'm on. You know what I'm saying? And if I used to have deep conversations with my older brother, about this stuff, and and he don't believe what I believe. You know what I'm saying? So all because we have disagreements with that, do he stop being my brother because I have disagreements with him on, a certain belief system or a certain, perspective of what, I may see things or how he may see things. At the end of the day, he's still my brother, and if it comes down to it, if I need his help, he's gonna help me, and vice versa. So it's like, we gotta look at that, in general, because even though my brothers may not be on what I'm on, but at the same time, we have more in common. You know what I'm saying? This is people I'm talking about, just secular, my
Yeah,
family. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So even if we don't agree on certain things, but we still have a lot more in common, like the plight that we lived growing up together. You know what I'm saying? The environment that we came,
Right.
the history that we have just as a family and as a people, you know what I'm saying? And just the struggle, you know what I'm saying? Those things is pretty much can override our differences, you know what I'm saying? Because those things matter the most, really, because a lot of things that we may disagree with, really, when we look at it for the most part, it's not
that
as
deep.
big as
It's not that
we
deep.
make
Yeah.
it to be. We make it to be so much bigger because we get so caught up in this is the way it's supposed to be.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
I can understand that. And I'm not knocking nobody who feel that way because that's how you supposed to feel. But it's another layer to it when we come to trying to, get out of this situation as a people that we in. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta learn, just be like, you know what? At the end of the day, like I was telling the brothers earlier today, like we all got different fingerprints. You know what I'm saying? We all got different opinions. You know what I'm saying? God made us that way for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So we can grow as a people. And if we don't have these differences, then how can we become unified if we don't have differences? You know what I'm saying? Most people can't grasp that, but if we don't have differences, how can we ever be unified? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's what. Yeah, differences are just as important as us as being on the same page. You know what I'm saying? The things that make us different, because that's what allows everybody to bring different pieces
Exactly.
and build from that.
Exactly.
So let me ask you this in the vein of what we're talking about. What was it like from your perspective when me and you was going back and forward? We was disagreeing. It was real.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
got serious.
yeah.
But like, what was it like for you on your side of it? And then how are you able to move past it?
Looking at the relationship that we had, you know what I'm saying? That was important. The relationship because even though we came to a point where we didn't agree on, certain doctrinal things,
Yeah.
I'm looking past the relationship that we built with things that we did agree on. You know what I'm saying? And that mattered the most. So after when it was said and done, and I had to, mature in that understanding, like, okay, all because certain brothers of mine don't see what I see. You know what I'm saying? Either I'm wrong or they're wrong. It doesn't matter. All because they don't see
We
what
can
I
both be
see.
wrong. We just can't both be right. But yeah. Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
So all because you don't see what I see, you know what I'm saying? Do I throw away all the relationship, the history that we had? You know what I'm saying? Do I throw
Yeah.
that away? All because of things that we don't agree with at this time or at this moment, at this dispensation of time? I don't. So I had to mature and understand that it's okay. It's okay for us to not agree on certain things. It's us growing. It's us growing. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's supposed to stay at the same point in life forever. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And it is how it is. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a road that God got them on. You know what I'm saying? And if we just stay focused on the road that God got us on, then everything is gonna wrap its way back. But like I said, we get too picky on, because my road got white lines and your road got yellow lines. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, come on, it's a road. We got a road. You know what I'm saying? Let's focus on the road.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's a destination that we're trying to get
Right.
to.
Let's focus
You
on
know
the
what I'm saying?
destination. We still trying to get somewhere.
Because all you get to, you might get to the destination a different way how I get to the destination. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we gotta understand that we're both traveling to this destination. You know what I'm saying? Because your route may be different than my route. That don't mean I need to stop being a brother to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we was once on the same route. That don't
Yeah.
mean because now it came. Oh, I see an exit that say this way, and you see an exit that say that way. I'm saying I'm gonna go this way. You like, nah, I'm gonna go that way. All right. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Do I get mad because you take this exit? Do you get mad because I take this exit? Because what happened with this exit? We end up still going to the
Yeah,
same
yeah, yeah.
direction. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know, so and then how I felt. I mean, it was something tough. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like we built
We built
something
something.
great. We were
Yeah,
building
yeah.
something great, but I understand that it's something greater that the Most High was allowing us to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what we did, it's nothing. We don't. It's not. We're not throwing that away. Or what we did. I like to keep things and look back on things and be like, you know what? It's growth. It's growth. Because if we didn't do what we do, you wouldn't have we big right now.
Yeah.
If we didn't do what we do, I wouldn't, be in the direction that I'm going with the coalition and things. So
Yeah.
it's like all this plays a part. You
It
know
was
what
all
I'm
part
saying?
of the process.
And it's bigger than what we think sometimes.
Yeah,
Way
yeah.
bigger than what we think. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Our mind is small compared to the universe.
You said something to me, and I echo the same one. That last conversation, the last like serious conversation we had about the whole ordeal, and we hashed everything out. We said, okay, look, all right, that's where we at with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? But we was, and you said to me, you said, man, listen, bro, like you was like, man, you my brother. You was like, bro, the reason why I spent all this time, we would we would do this for hours every day.
Yeah.
Like I'll be at work, neglecting my job, going back and forth with you. You know what I'm saying? And you said something to me, and it was like ditto, because you was like, bro, I wouldn't be doing all this if I didn't care about you. I wouldn't be spending this much time of my life, putting this much thought and effort into this if I didn't care about you as a brother, bro. I'm doing this because you mean something to me. And I'm like, it's the same thing for me, because you know what I'm saying, because I see the type of brother you is, and I see the passion you got. You know what I'm saying? I gave you that name, Palada Passion. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So and I see it, and so it's like, and I couldn't rest good with you from my perspective, with you going off. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I gotta get this brother back. I gotta get this brother back. You know, and but when you said that to me, I'm like, okay, we still have that same mutual love for each other. You know what I'm saying? For you to be able to say, you saying I'm doing this because I wouldn't, you like, man, I wouldn't be going back and forth about somebody I ain't care about. Like I wouldn't be putting as much effort into it. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. And you know what I'm saying? We're on the same page, and we just had to kind of get to the point where we had to respect what we were on the whole thing. You know
And
what I'm saying?
sometimes, separation, and time apart, from the situation actually get us to see things better. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and I'm just maturing with things. Like even when I'm in with a relationship, you know what I'm saying, having a relationship with a female, you know what I'm saying, and we get into an argument, it's not always the best thing to try to fix those things right there. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we need that separation, you know what I'm saying, to reconcile things and be like, okay, I know this brother has a good intentions when it comes to his people. You know what I'm saying? And I know this brother has, good intentions when it comes to what he's trying to tell me, even if I don't believe what he's saying. So sometimes we just gotta, take a step back, you know what I'm saying, from the situation, you know what I'm saying, and then just let time, overall work it out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of pressing the issue, because what we was doing, we was me and Nayan, Mike, we was pressing the issue, like, y'all gotta understand
Hey,
what we talking about when it comes to the Evie and Nike.
I'm matching y'all energy though. I'm like, hey man, listen, and I'm gonna say the good thing about it, because I'm gonna say this on video. I won't say I like to argue.
Oh, you like to
but
argue.
yeah, like, but I do, but I don't. It's not like I don't like to argue to no end. I like to argue because I feel like we're gonna come to an understanding that way.
Nah, for
like
sure,
you know what I'm saying,
for sure.
and I'm gonna stand what I believe. And so when we was going back and forth, I'm gonna match y'all energy. But for me, this is giving me every motivation, everything I need to get into some deeper study, bro. I studied so much and learned so much going back and forth with y'all, because every day you come with something else. I'm like, what? And I, I don't just say stuff. I'm gonna go. We was going.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
said, bro,
yeah,
why?
yeah.
I said, why you? I'm finna go look this up.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
I'm finna
yeah,
go.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying? And I'm
yeah.
be at work, and
Yeah.
instead of planning out for the next, I'm finna be in here studying this. Man. Listen, I'm talking about. I'm in my studies, and it was good in that way. I learned a lot
Yeah.
from that. You know what I'm saying? It was good for me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Nah, for
that's
sure.
one that was one of the positives of it, man. But you know, at the end of the day, I like you said, I did understand that you was doing what you thought was right and true. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't like intentionally trying to lead somebody astray. This is what you believe. This is what you came to understand, and you was trying to stand on that, or you was standing on that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, nah. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna stand on what I stand on.
Yeah.
But it was just a mutual respect, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And,
Yeah.
and despite all those disagreements, like you said, we brothers, and I saw the bigger picture that this doesn't mean that we have to hate each other because we
Yeah.
disagree, because we argue, because we go back and forward. I did feel like we could no longer teach together because we
Yeah.
had different understanding. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So, and I thought that was a big point of contention, and that's just where I was with it. But I understood that it didn't mean they have to be the end of us
Yeah.
as brothers. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
nah, for
saying?
sure. I mean,
And
I mean, we get, and this is going back to the this doctrine thing. We came to a understanding that okay, we can't do doctrinal teachings together. You know what I'm saying? Because we both have different, understanding when it comes to the doctrine of what we trying to bring forth. But when it comes to just practical understanding and unification and just um the sake of our people and the sake of just truth in itself, you know what I'm saying, we still able to work with that, you know what I'm saying, like now. You know what I'm saying? So that was something I had to, and that made me really understand, like it really made me understand, like, wow, like, doctrine is really keeping us,
separated.
yeah. Because it's okay to have your own, it's nothing wrong with having your own doctrine. You know what I'm saying? But should that allow you to not want to deal with a brother or a sister because y'all don't agree on, I'm just example, y'all don't agree on the calendar. Y'all
Yeah.
don't agree,
Okay.
on who may be the early church. Y'all don't agree on, or these things, you know what I'm saying? But we got to look at the overall thing, which is okay, what can we give our people? You know what I'm saying? What can we feed our people? And sometimes it's not all about those tick for tat things, what day of the week the calendar start, you know what I'm saying, what, who who was the early church, you know what I'm saying, like sometimes that stuff can really need to take the back seat, you know what I'm saying, in a lot
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
situations, you know what I'm
Because
saying.
and what you're saying, right? I look at it like, and we're gonna try to
Yeah, yeah,
transition
yeah.
into some understanding on some issues, right? But I think about we talk about Israel as a nation, right? And going back, let's just go back to the New Testament.
Yeah.
You had Pharisees, Sadducees, you had the Zealots,
Yeah.
you had the Nazarenes.
Yeah.
Who else you had? What else you had? The
The
scribes.
scribe.
You had who else?
You
Uh,
say this,
yeah, I
yeah.
mean,
Different
it was
fractions of
it
Israel.
was I named five off the top of my head, and it was
Yeah,
more than that,
yeah.
right? So Israel was divided in that sense. However, they was united as a people.
Yeah.
They were still Israel. They still
Exactly.
all the Zealots, the Sadducees, the Pharisees, the Essenes. That's why I mentioned the
Yeah,
Essenes,
yeah.
the Nazarenes.
Yeah.
They all came to Jerusalem for the feast.
Yeah. Yeah. They
You
all
know what I'm saying?
they all had
They
a
still
common
had a
interest.
common thing. They
Exactly.
still observed the law of the Most High, and
Exactly.
they had different ways and different understandings on it. You know what I'm saying? But they still understood that we're all the same people,
Exactly.
and they was
Exactly.
unified and united under that banner.
Exactly.
And then within that, they had their different fractions, but they understood the bigger picture too, that we still one
Exactly.
people.
But that what makes a nation a nation. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Having those different things. Everybody, can't. We wouldn't be a nation, and because that's why I'd be like, you know what? What's really important is nationalism. You know what I'm saying? Most all nations have that. they have that. You know what I'm saying? They have that. You know, but when it comes to, I'm speaking specifically about Hebrew Israelites. When it comes to that, we tend to put our doctrine before
Our
nationalism.
people.
Yeah, exactly. And we be like, and that becomes
A dividing line.
a big dividing line. We become gang banging, you know what I'm saying, against each other. You know what
Right,
I'm
right,
saying?
right, right.
Like Crips and Bloods, when we look at Crips and Bloods, you know how much, power they can have. You know what I'm saying? If they put away their doctrine, you know what I'm saying, or let their, not to say don't, because they have their criteria, what makes a Crip a Crip, what makes a Blood a Blood, you know what I'm saying? Should they be like, no, forget all that? No, I'm not saying no, forget all that. What I'm saying is that
It has a place.
it has a
And
place.
we shouldn't put it before our people.
Exactly.
And we shouldn't put it before us as a people.
Exactly.
That's supposed to be supreme. And then we deal with everything else after that.
Exactly.
But we still understand that we're still the same people.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, I think that kind of you see that when they get into the prison system, that ideology starts to reign supreme, because then it becomes melanated people against the other people.
Exactly. We get to see the big
Then
picture.
they know how to put
Yeah,
the,
they
you know what
see
I'm
the
saying,
big
like they
picture.
divide among themselves, but if it go down, we all
Yeah,
together.
Exactly, because in the jail, when they was in the prisons, you know what I'm saying, when it was the Hispanics, killing the blacks, you know what I'm saying, when these white supremacy gangs in the jail was attacking the blacks, you know what happened with the Crips and Blood? They actually started working
Yeah.
together. You
They
know what I'm
had to,
saying?
because out of
Yeah.
necessity. But we got to understand the necessity as us of a people, as with us as a people. And so with that being said, let's kind of, let's go into the coalition. You know what I'm saying? Because when I remember, that was something we was talking about
Yeah.
before we kind of split, went our different ways. And once again, to your credit, you know what I'm saying, you had that zeal, you stuck with it. You was like, bro, we can do this. And at that point in time, after we was going back and forth, I'm like, man, we can't do nothing together.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't feeling nothing you was on. Man, we ain't doing nothing. Nah, you tripping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like you said, you had a mission. You know what I'm saying? And you stuck with it, man, and you kept pushing the idea. And then we had pieced everything out. We wasn't really, talking on a regular basis, but you still reached out to me like, hey, man, it's happening, man. I want you to be a part of this. And and I'm sitting back like, I'm considering, I'm going back and forward, and I'm watching, and life start lifing and all these different things, man. But and then we had a conversation, because I really didn't understand what you was doing. Uh, the terms and stuff, like we could say coalition. People right now don't know what we're talking about, but we had a conversation, and you explain, and we talked about it for a little while, I understood it. You know what I'm saying? And basically, essentially, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the understanding I got from it was, we're trying to establish, this coalition is about establishing something that we can have as a nation, despite the difference. Because my first mindset was, well, how we gonna do this? And you believe this, they believe this, they believe this. I'm not on what they on. I'm not what you on. I'm on, like, how this gonna work? And you're like, yeah, that's the whole point. We want to make it work despite that, so that we can really be an example as to how we can come together as a nation, as a people, like it was during the time of the Messiah, where even though they had all these different sects of beliefs and practices, they were still one people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you know what you know what happened when the Romans, they didn't just crash down on the Essenes
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
the Zealots.
Everybody.
Exactly. The whole nation got it. So and if we, because like I said, we gonna always have those differences, man. That's not that. I think God want us to have those differences. You know what I'm saying? If not, then and then this I'm gonna kind of say something that you can probably chime in on, but when it comes to the kingdom of the Most High, as more of I'm starting to understand, what we have to do as a people, I'm starting to understand that the kingdom of the Most High is not going to be based off, okay, we all have to believe the same specific doctrine. You know what I'm saying? The kingdom of the Most High is going to have to deal with specifically the doctrine of us becoming a nation again and living that out. You know what I'm saying? And then like you mentioned about the Essenes, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, you know, we're gonna always have subgroups within us. We're gonna all each government, each nation has that now in
Right,
today's
right,
society.
right,
But do they stop them from being a nation?
right.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, because it's a bigger agenda. You know, that deal with us being sustainable. You know what I'm saying? Feeding ourselves. You know, educating ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Building our own institutions, building our own infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? Architecture, like those things which matter, because if we steady fighting on what books we should believe, what books we should, what books is valid, what books is validity, what I'm
Yeah.
saying, then that's gonna stop us from building our own infrastructure. Why can't we just build, our schools of thoughts, what I'm saying, rather than debating those, what I'm saying? Let's build institutions. Let's build our nation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, in spite of all the differences, let's still, you know what I'm saying, and that's the whole thing, man. Yeah, man, like we talk about the kingdom. You know, I to what my understanding is that when Christ come back, he's gonna say everything in order, and so all the confusion, all disagreement is gonna be cleared up, and you're gonna have to roll with the Messiah or get rolled on.
Yeah, for
It's as
sure.
simple, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be all cleared up then. However, we still need to function as a people, and that's what that's the whole thing, man.
And you know what it may be, this is me just putting it may be to the point where that the Messiah, when people say he would put everything in order, it may be that understanding of that, that we need to unite as a nation despite our differences, what I'm saying, of putting things in order. You know what I'm saying? And
And then let him come and sort everything
yeah, I
out.
mean, everything will be sorted out based on us, having a goal of being together as a nation. You know what I'm saying? And then those things later, when we a nation, then we can have those conversations. You know what I'm saying, with people who maybe scholars and maybe teachers. We can have those conversations about different doctrine. Let's do that after, what I'm saying, we become a nation, and then we sorting things out. You know what I'm saying? Some things when we looking at certain things, some things may happen in a real life practical way rather than just a fairy tale type of way. Not saying, I'm saying, like, cause we think like, okay, in the snap of a finger we all just gonna start,
Don't get too far from the mic.
we think like in the snap of a finger we all just gonna agree. Nah, that's not in reality. It
You
don't work
know,
like that. You know what I'm saying?
you know, that's something I'm kind of starting to wrap my mind around. Like a lot of things I thought were gonna be more of some kind of divine experience.
Mm-hmm.
Like discernment.
Mm-hmm.
People talk about discernment,
Yeah.
and for some reason in my mind, discernment was like this this spiritual
Mm-hmm.
experience or this spiritual thing that happens,
Mm-hmm.
and the Most High just kind of give you this understanding, out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm learning that it's not like that's not necessarily the case,
Mm-hmm.
because you know I'm seeing that a lot of people are not able to read and understand and get
Mm-hmm.
revelation from the scriptures just by reading it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
and and I thought everybody could do that. I thought everybody could read it and see it clearly for what it is and
Mm-hmm.
get a clear. And it's not, that don't necessarily happen. And people saying, well, no, that's, you need discernment for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, in my mind, I'm thinking discernment is like this spiritual experience that somebody have,
Mm-hmm.
like you just read it and then a spirit come on you, and and something
Mm-hmm.
happens and you
Mm-hmm.
get this revelation. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
nah, it's more, I don't want to say physical, but it's not that, it's not I don't want to say magical, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
like this, this divine experience.
Mm-hmm.
The Most High give you an intellect, and He gives
Mm-hmm.
certain people different gifts and different levels of faith and wisdom and
Yeah.
understanding.
Yeah, for sure.
And some people get it, and some people don't get it. And
Mm-hmm.
uh, and so I'm starting to wrap my mind around the fact that a lot of the things that we read in the Scripture, or even a lot of things that are spiritual, are not this for lack of a better term, please excuse me, but it's not like this majestic
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
It's a lot more subtle. It's a lot more
Realistic,
normal
Yeah.
than what we would think, or
Yeah.
what I thought anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it goes with like, to get what we gotta go to, we would have to go through, you know what I'm saying, things. So we would have to go through experiences. Now, if people not going through certain experiences and certain, edifying each other and certain, things that people have to go through to be like, I get, because sometimes it really takes time. It takes people to travel. It takes people to debate. It takes conversations. And these are life things that we're talking about. These are, things that happen on day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we all gonna wake up in one day and be like, I believe how this organization believe. You know what I'm saying?
We always gonna wake up with
Yeah.
the same belief all of a
It's
sudden.
not gonna happen
It
like
takes
that.
strife
It
and
yes,
struggle. You know what I'm
exactly,
saying?
exactly. But we all gotta understand, like, okay, if we are fighting for the same thing, ultimately, then then what should happen is that we should be able to come to those common grounds. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, the other nations they do it. They got common ground.
Right.
So why we can't have common ground? You
And
know what I'm
that's what,
saying?
that's what we need to learn, man.
Jungle to the Bible verse, seeking righteous power, breaking every curse. We believe in God. Put that on the track, man. This ain't just a broadcast. This is family right here. Laugh. Learn and be encouraged. Let go of all the fear. Bold faith.